So I said in, well, a few episodes ago that the Orthodox were dead, and I really thought so, but they are still there hiding in Rhodes. They have not been released, at least not to my knowledge. They have just, retained this one province. So there they are, the Orthodox, the last bastion of Orthodoxy, that is, well, still there claiming to, well, have a lot more land than they actually do have. Now, unfortunately, they lost their core on the on Constantinople, which is quite sad, but there's no way they're gonna retake these things anyways. But it's just, I thought it's nice to see. Other than that, we see the Inti actually getting involved in these European wars and just absolutely smashing one of the Bogomilist forces. Now, there's still 100,000 Fraticelli on their way to crush the Cathars and liberate Rome, and they're probably, hopefully not gonna stack wipe this army, but they might. Okay. Yep, they did. They just stack wiped the Cathar force, and I think that's pretty much the end. Because there's 90,000 Lollards in their home, 60,000 Bogomilists, and they only have about 80,000 men left. So we're going to see a peace here very soon. I do believe that the Cathars is still, yeah, that's the development I had a look at, but I guess now that I'm here, I might as well show you. So the Fraticelli are number 1, Totemis are number 2. Zoroastrians still have more than the Shinto, but that is probably going to change very soon. But yeah, let's go back to the wars because that's obviously the most important here. So the Cathars are still winning. Still winning because they have that colonial nation under control. We also have the Kharijites going after the Ashanti. That's kind of funny. And we'll see the Jains probably almost fully annexed very soon. Also, Zoroastrians are going to have to give in. I wonder if they have their capital still. Nope, their capital has fallen. Okay, so that means ticking war score on the side of the Sikh. We also have Sikh separatists now, but apparently the Sikh separatists are fighting the Sikh. No, they're not. Okay, never mind. So I just hope that the Shinto get involved. Well, it's not really a big deal, but I always hate when that happens. When the AI kills rebels that are technically on their side. I think these rebels should be more dealt with, but whatever. The Confucians did take over this one province. Not really sure if the war was worth it, but, I guess they have taken over one province from the Vajrayani. The Zunists also finished their conquest. They took one province from the Jains here in Korea. And they took, well, not entirely all what I thought. They left 3 provinces still that they could have taken in this war, but that's okay. They took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, plus the one in Korea, 8 provinces. And you know what? It looks as though they took this province here as well. Okay, so they took provinces all around the globe. That was very successful for them. They have basically increased their power in all of the regions that they are present. So that's nice. That's nice. It's a really good crusade for them. The Ashanti obviously are going to get crushed. And we saw a big peace. Now, oh right, that was in Europe. So the Cathars peaced out. Now, the Waldensians had to peace out earlier. Now, I don't remember what they were. Okay, so there we are. So the Waldensians actually lost a lot in this war. Now, they were also the one who the war was declared upon. So I guess that makes sense. But they lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 provinces despite the effort of the Cathars to defend them. Actually, no, that's not true. The Waldensians were not the target, but they were the ones who suffered from this. Okay. And the Cathars at least retained all of their provinces. None of the Lollard France was given back. That's good. And they're continuing to colonize lands in Italy. All right. Well, it's not really a big surprise that the big alliance bloc did win, but it is obviously unfortunate to see. So, yeah, that was one of the last chances, I think, to end this. But, yeah, I think they're now going to run away with the victory. Pretty sure about that. The Kharijites are still at war with the Ashanti here. For a moment, I thought they were, a war again with the Copts, but that is not the case. Yeah, the Ashanti are easily going to get gobbled up, and then we might even see a Kharijite Norse war. That would be somewhat fun. But the fetishes are clinging on to this war, and so far they are indeed winning. They have the war goal, so that's really good for them. The Inti are in this as well, but only a few provinces in Africa are going to change hands. Not more than that, because simply the war score is not going to be enough. Alright, so Lollard, Colombia still fully under siege, or fully occupied, I should say. I hope the Inti do get these provinces, because I would like to see a war between them and the Nahuatl. And yeah, basically North America is almost completely colonized. This is the only thing that we're missing. And I really would like to see the Ptolemies colonize this. I'm also kind of interested to know why California stopped colonizing. Like, ever since they got to this point, they just stopped colonizing. They've not sent a single colonist ever since. And the Ptolemies, I mean, they're at least colonizing down here, but it looks as though Protestant Brazil is interested to cut them off, and they're pretty close. If they take this one province, they don't have to deal with the Ptolemies anymore, and just with, you know, Cathar, even the Norse and the Inti. But the Inti or Cathars could cut off the Norse as well to make it easier for them to have less competition. But we'll see. It's not, you know, that important. Kharijites did manage to win their war against Ashanti. Not a big surprise. And yeah, that is that. I think we have, after all of these wars, maybe a bit more peace right now. The Zikri have started a reconquest against the Tengri, but we shouldn't forget the Tengri have been strengthened by the Mahayana in their war against the Confucians. They have been able to take some provinces over, so I don't know. It's not, you know, they're not as weak as they were once, because they have been left at peace for a while now, and they had time to regather their strength. Now, of course, this is the big war that we have missed. I should have obviously checked that out earlier. So the Shinto did manage to win. These two, I believe, are colonies, all right? But the rest are actual provinces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my god, that's so many. Well, not as many, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 provinces. And I wonder if the Zoroastrians lost some provinces here as well. I think they did. Yep, so the Sikh did get all of their cores back. Now, I don't know how many they were, but at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 provinces. So let's quickly check out the ledger just to see how much development the Zoroastrians lost here. So, wow, they were at 1,300. No, 1,200 though. So number 3, and now they're pushed back quite far. So their chances of winning have been diminished. I think they're not going to be able to bounce back in the last 40 years because they are, well, they're bordering the Shinto. So unless they start a huge conquest of Suomenusko lands, but then again, they would run soon and quickly run into the Iconoclast Crimea territories, and they would get stopped by the big alliance there. Now, they also had to give up provinces back to the Hurufi, at least 2. These 2, I'm pretty sure they had to give back as well. So they have been utterly crushed. You know what? They might even have given back this province. But here, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure about that one. Wow, that was certainly a big peace deal. The Sikh look really, really powerful. You know, it's just a shame that they're not actually Sikh. They are Theravada still. But, you know, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? But yeah, Shinto, you're going to have to deal with a few rebels. But, well, depending on where your armies are at, you should be quite capable of doing that. Tengri seem to be able to hold their own so far. And the Shinto are making their way to deal with the rebels. Great. Let's check out the wars again. No, those are great powers. Okay, nothing going on. Now, as I mentioned, I was actually thinking about the Ptolemies. Going to war, they have 300,000 men in one province, taking massive amounts of attrition. But you know what? I suppose it doesn't matter to them. To them, this is not even a big deal. They don't care. All right, so this war has ended as well. The Inti did not take anything. And we now have borders established here between Venezuelan Colombia, Catholic Venezuelan Colombia, and the Inti faith. Let's have a quick look at the religions here. All right, pretty good. Now, this still has to be colonized, so animist and a few of the Inti provinces are not correct. But for the most part, this is pretty representative. I like the Norse being down here. It's kind of fun. So Lollard's in between, stuck in between. The Catholics still have this one province in North America. And then we have all kinds of religions up here. Okay. Very good. Very good. So did the fetishists actually take up provinces? They definitely took some. They did take one province. Let's actually quickly check it out this way. Well, they certainly took 2 provinces from the Fraticelli, and they took 5 provinces from the Lollards. Alright, so they did grow in strength, but obviously not as much as we would hope. You know, if we want to have any chance of breaking up this powerful alliance. You still have your... Oh, look at that. Look at that. So, whatever these wars have caused, whatever the wars, the outcome of these wars, they certainly have caused the big alliance to break. So, no more alliance with the Lollards, no more alliance with the Bogomilists. That's big. That's really big. So, Iconoclasts and the Fraticelli... Now, the Iconoclasts still have their alliance with the Bogomilists. So, yeah, I'm not entirely sure. You still have your alliance with the Copts. And the Lollards now have an alliance. Well, the Bogomilists... Alright. Okay, let me set this straight. The Bogomilists still have that alliance. The Balkan alliance is still very much intact. But what I'm feeling here is that the Bogomilists had enough of the Fraticelli shit. I think that we're going to see a potential war between Lollards Reformed and Bogomilist on one side, the Fraticelli, and potentially the Iconoclasts on the other side. But the Iconoclasts might stay out of this completely. And that, a war between, you know, the Bogomilist, Lollard, Reformed against the Fraticelli, they could not win. And that would be really cool to see. That would be really cool to see. Norse are allied with the Fetishists and the Totemists. Okay, so they're seeking allies abroad, which, not sure if that's the smartest idea, but yeah, I guess, you know, it's their choice anyways. So there we are. The Catholics have now a foothold here. Pretty well, they have had that for a while, but definitely looks nice. Papal State's still around. The Cathars have been busy with other wars, so they have not taken them over. And I'm, you know, glad to see the Cathars are still colonizing here. Really, the Fraticelli should have taken this a long time ago, but they were interested in other things. Okay, can we see the conversion? Yep, conversion is going forward. Paulicians are almost entirely converted, so that's that. Giants are being converted as well. All right, so we still have the Tengri against the Zikri, and that's the only war. So the Hindu did fight a war against the Manicians, but to be honest, I'm not entirely sure what they have taken, and quite frankly, I don't really care as much. Oh, look at that. Did we just see... Well, we definitely saw a stack wipe, but now I'm questioning how many forces that were. For a second there, I thought like it was 100,000, but it's obviously not the case. It must have been more like 10,000 being stack wiped by the Tengri here. So what's the war score like? It is at -7. Still not too bad. And the Inti decided to declare another war on Venezuela, and I think, well, depending on what they do, if they move their troops around here again, they're not going to do too well. But, well, then again, this is a big wasteland, so they will have to move around all around here to get into Venezuelan territories. But look at this. Venezuela has about 100,000 men, a little bit more than that. But, you know, the Shinto have. This alone is 120,000, 140,000, 160,000. And then they have another stack here, 200,000. So they hit them with about twice as many troops as they can muster. So, yeah, this should be an easy victory. Excuse me. It should be an easy victory for the Inti. And my voice is just cracking up there. And there it is. Actually, no, it's not it. Wait, so the Bogomilists broke their alliance? It seems as though there was an alliance between the Reformed and the Bogomilists, and they broke it. Oh, you won't believe it. Man, I really thought we're gonna see this war now, but the Bogomilists are afraid. I'm not sure. Maybe they're not ready yet. I can't really tell, but I was really thinking we're gonna see this war. But I guess here's the thing: the Iconoclasts were eager to join the Fraticelli in this war, and I do believe that the Bogomilists decided, you know what, we're going to be the ones sandwiched in between the Iconoclasts and Fraticelli, whereas the Reformed are not only on, you know, to the side, but they also have the Waldensians as a buffer, which the Fraticelli would have to walk through. So I believe that is why the Bogomilists decided not to honor this alliance, but it's going to hurt them. It's going to hurt them. Is there no one in this world either willing, or I guess both, willing and capable to stand up against the Fraticelli? It can't be that difficult. Just a coalition, break them apart. But no, they're gonna go away with. They're gonna get away with this victory here. If no one does anything about them, yeah, I can't see how they should win. All right, so the Caribbean decided to help out their Catholic brothers against the Inti menace, but yeah, well. I doubt that they're really going to be able to do much. So, the Reformed, I mean, this is, what's the war goal here? This is a colonial war. So once again, I do think Fraticelli have picked the wrong war goal for this. So they're going to lose out on points here, but they are most likely going to absolutely, besiege and occupy all of the Reformed lands. So, yeah. Now, it looks as though the Bogomilists only have, well, they have another 42,000 stack there. Yeah, I guess they were just not ready for this war, I could imagine. Still surprised that the Nestorians managed to hold onto their lands. I mean, it's like, what, 3 provinces? That's insane. And, do we see a war between Iconoclast and the Copts? Hold on, wow, that's big. So, oh, look at that. Jewish war for independence. They are not sitting. They are not suffering any more Coptic oppression. Well, look at that. I would have not expected that. So, the Jews are being supported by the Iconoclasts, who are currently busy. You know what? In retrospect, maybe the Bogomilists should have joined that war. But, you know, it's in retrospect, so, you know, you're always smarter afterwards. Okay, so in the meantime, while the Jews declared their independence are being supported by the incredibly powerful fetishists, wow. The Sunni also decided to declare a war of conquest against the Copts. Now, I hope that the Jews are going to be able to get all of their cores back. Look how many cores they could take. Wow, I would have not expected the Copts to fall like that. And of course, they haven't fallen yet, but it's very likely that they will. And this could have a domino effect. With the Jews getting independence, and probably with the support of the fetishists, getting all of their lands back, then the Copts being occupied in a war with the Sunni, you know, trying to protect their lands. The Kharijites could, you know, they could come back. They'll still have 120,000 men. They are not a weak country. They're still powerful. And they haven't really lost too many provinces, so they could easily take this back, and we could see the Copts just completely fall apart. That is possible, but, you know, it might not have to happen this way. We never know. But definitely, if the Copts lose Axum and lose maybe they have to give back Antioch to, I don't know, the Nestorians in a peace deal. That's possible. That would cripple them a lot, because that's 2 of their holy sites, and that's going to make their religion incredibly weaker. So we'll have to see. This could have some huge implications for the Copts, for the future of this of the Let's Play. Okay, and yeah, so now the Zikri are actually pushing into the Tengri. They were able to hold up for a while. They're still technically winning, but yeah, and the Copts are just being pounded. Now the Mahayana even decided to take this opportunity, and that's a really good opportunity, because the Copts, they actually held some of these provinces here. It's hard to tell because they have the exact same color, but I like that. I definitely agree to, I definitely support the Mahayana here taking over this because of prettier borders. That's the war goal, or I guess that's the casus belli they have used. Cleansing of borders. Anyways, though, we'll have to end this episode here a little bit earlier because the last one was a little bit longer. So yeah, I guess that was pretty interesting. We'll see how the Copts will manage to hold their own, but that will be in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you guys next time.